Hello, and welcome to my channel, Naughty Gnome Crafts. My name is Sarah, and you can find me as Naughty Gnome on Instagram. It's time for another Friday Sews, and I have a couple of finished projects to share with you. I'm very briefly going to talk about what I'm working on, and then at the end we're going to talk a little bit about the new issue of Fibre Mood. So if that interests you, please stay tuned. Before we get started, today I am wearing my McCall's, I think it's 7831 jumper dress. If that's not right, I'll put the number up on the screen. And then I have a ready-to-wear like waffle knit top underneath. And then I have this scarf that I knit. And for the life of me, I can't remember what the pattern's called, but I will link it down in the description box. And yeah, it's very cold today. I think that winter has arrived here in Western New York. And so I'm actually still a little bit chilly. I'm thinking about maybe going to throw on a cardigan over top of this outfit. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay warm. And I will insert a picture here so you can see what the full outfit looks like. Okay, so last week where we left off, I was trying to finish up my double gauze top series. I had purchased 3 different colors of autumnal shades of cotton double gauze from Stylemaker Fabrics during my birthday. It was like my birthday coupon sale thing. And I wanted to get all of those fabrics sewn up so that I could wear them over the fall and winter months. So I did manage to do that. So I think the last thing I was working on was my Love Notions Rhapsody blouse out of like this caramel color double gauze. And this top is like extremely wet still, so I will not be trying this on for you. I do have some pictures to insert later. So I made the size extra small. And I've made this pattern 3 times now. And so I made a really silly error, which was totally my own fault. As I said, I've made this a couple times before, so I know that the original draft of the pattern does work. But essentially what happened was I didn't want to do the ties. And for just my own preferences, I don't really like the way that a double fold binding looks, how it like shows on the outside. Like I just like the cleaner look of when you turn it to the inside and stitch it down like a single fold binding. So I kind of converted it to a single fold binding, but I didn't change any of the measurements. And so what happened was, because I was turning the entire width of the binding to the inside of the garment, that lowered the neckline and made the whole thing wider. So when I finished the top and I tried it on, then it wasn't falling off my shoulders, but it was just very, very wide, and it kind of stuck out at the back neck, and the neckline didn't fit me. And like I said, it was totally my own fault because they changed the way that the construction, how it was constructed. If I just followed the directions, it would have been fine. So to fix the error that I made, I went back in and I added 2 shoulder darts. I think that you can see them here. And I did this the super lazy, easy way. Like I really should have taken off the binding, did the darts, and then put the binding back on, but I didn't do that. Like you can see on the inside here, I just like put little darts in here. And that brought in the shoulders to where they sit on my neckline nicely, and like the top is fine. Next time I will just follow the directions and it'll be okay. I'm sure that I will make this top again because I was talking to Michelle, I think of Michelle Sews Again, and she was mentioning this pattern. And I was trying to think like why it's such a great pattern and why everyone loves it. And I really think that it's because it is such a simple design and it's easy to put together, but it has some really nice details. So you get like these gathers in the shoulders and the little notch here, and then you have like the yoke in the back, and then you have all the different sleeve options. So this was my first time doing the long bishop sleeve. Oh, you can even see on camera like how wet this still is. But yeah, and so Love Notions patterns, I've noticed their sleeves are a little bit shorter than like what I would say the standard sleeve draft is. So I only shortened these 2 inches instead of my normal 3, and that was pretty much perfect. And yeah, I really like this top. I'm gonna put in a picture that I wore with it styled with my pink velvet skirt. I really like the color combination of this warm brown with the pale pink. I just think it's kind of unexpected, but like really nice for fall. And that is how I would wear it. I mean, there's tons of different ways you could wear this, but like that is one way that I would wear this top. And yeah, I really enjoyed making this, and no complaints about it other than my own silly mistake. So my final double gauze top was from my November plans. It was a hack of the Meet You There dress by Pattern Emporium. I really liked the shape of the sleeves and the look of the dress, but I just didn't want to make a dress right now, and so I lengthened the bodice 8 inches and slightly curved the hemline to make it a regular blouse. And I used this rusty orange color, which I actually am really starting to fall in love with. I've never liked orange before. In fact, I've always hated orange, but I think that the oranges that I don't like are like the yellowy oranges are the ones I don't like. I like these rusty ones, I think. So I'm excited to add this color to my wardrobe more now that I know that I like it. But anyway, back to the top. So I made the size 8, which corresponded to my measurements. Now this does hang off my shoulder a little bit, but looking at all of the photos of other people that have made it, I think it is meant to be a slight drop shoulder because it's meant to be oversized and like billowy. So I think that's okay. And I really liked the way that this neckline was finished. Like the instructions were very clear. The only thing that confused me is that they call it a facing, and so when I was purchasing the pattern, it said it had a facing, and so like I was expecting a facing. But this is definitely bias binding, so I don't know if it's like an Australian thing or what the deal is, but I just would not call this a facing. I would call this bias binding, but it doesn't matter. The actual like process of making it was very easy to do. It has a really clean finish. I used some quilting cotton, like a fat quarter that I had in my stash, just because when I'm using this bias binding, it's a little bit difficult to cut it out of the double gauze. I find it a little bit hard to work with, and it's thicker because it's a double layer. So I just used a quilting cotton because it was easier to work with. And I also just like the little pop of contrast. But yeah, I really love the way that this neckline went in, and I would actually maybe even think about doing it on future patterns. Like if I wanted to do the Rhapsody again, I might convert it to do this instead because I just love the look of this. There's many options with this pattern. So I did the high crew neckline, and then I did the 3/4 sleeve. Although on me, because my arms are so short, it's actually more of a bracelet length. And at first I was like, oh, it's bracelet length. Like next time I'll need to lengthen the sleeve like another 1.5 inches to make it long sleeve. But when I was actually wearing it, it occurred to me that the bracelet sleeve's kind of nice, because the thing about these elasticated wrists on the cuffs with these types of blouses and dresses is that when it's long sleeve, I don't have like a good way for it to sit on my watch. Like if it's a long sleeve, it looks weird if you put it over the watch, but if you put it above the watch, then like one arm is shorter than the other and it just looks weird. Whereas the bracelet sleeve, like it looks better because there's just room on my wrist for my watch and nothing is like awkwardly out of place. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyway, the point is, I think that I do like that length for these billowy type sleeves, and I might actually do that more in the future because I feel like it looks better with a watch. Anyway, I can't think of anything else to say about this. This does have a back yoke, but it's not a lined back yoke, and honestly, it seemed like it was just drafted straight. Like I don't think there's actually any shaping in the yoke. I think it's kind of just for decoration. So if you wanted to, you probably could like put those two pattern pieces together and just cut it on the fold and just have like one like straight back piece if that's what you wanted. But yeah, anyway, I love the way that this top looks, and I will insert a picture of me in an outfit. And I definitely want to make the dress. It's just that I feel like now that we're heading into winter and it's going to be super cold and snowy, and I do feel like this pattern looks much better in like a soft, light, drapey fabric. I think I might wait until the spring to actually make the dress because I just think that if I made it right now, I wouldn't really wear it until spring anyway. So that was my Meet You There top. Very happy with that. And I'm thrilled with my double gauze series. I feel like all 3 of the tops turned out really well. And I love that they're like a solid color, and they're pretty basic designs, but they're just pieces that I feel like I can mix and match in my wardrobe and wear with a lot of different things. And their colors, all 3 are colors that I don't really wear a lot of, and so it just kind of expands my universe a little bit color-wise. Okay, so moving on to what I am working on now. So I'm working on my Rifle Paper Company McCall's jumpsuit. I'm never going to remember the number, but I will put it up on the screen. And because I am doing this as a collab, the video is going to come out Thanksgiving weekend, which I guess is next weekend. And so because of that, I'm not going to actually show it to you or talk about my process. I'm just going to wait for the reveal video, but that is what I'm currently working on. And as far as what I'm going to work on next, I actually don't know. I realized when I went back to like look at my November plans that I forgot to put a Fibre mood pattern on that list. And I am really trying to sew up one Fibre mood pattern per month because I did pay for the subscription and I just want to make use of it. So I was thinking about possibly whipping out something quick from Fibre mood, like a sweatshirt or something. But yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do, but I really haven't decided yet. So before we move on to the new Fibre mood discussion, I just quickly want to say something about color. I've been thinking a lot about color and what colors suit me and what colors don't. And just for whatever reason, like getting your colors done just seems to be all the rage right now. Like not just with the sewing community, there's been several like YouTubers that I watch who've had their colors done, and then just some other like fashion YouTubers that I regularly watch have also had their colors done. And like I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't think that I would ever want to do that because I'm such a contrarian. Like I don't want to be pigeonholed. Like I feel like it could be helpful, but then if it comes back and they tell me like you can wear these colors, and it's like, but what if they say like I can't wear black, but I want to wear black, so like I'm just gonna wear it anyway, you know what I mean? Like that's how I would feel. So I don't think that like actually paying a professional to do my colors is something that I'm really interested in. But still, that sort of like that topic sort of set off in my mind. I'm like, well, what colors do really look best on me? And so I just found myself thinking about color more and how I incorporate it into my outfits. I had been watching this YouTube video, and I'll link it down in the description box below. And it was a video about outfit formulas for when you have nothing to wear. And it's funny because when I think of outfit formulas, I think of garments. So, you know, an example would be like, you know, t-shirt and jeans with a blazer. Like to me, that's like a formula that you could go to if you needed a quick outfit idea. But this video was a little bit different, and a lot of her formulas actually had to do with color. And so she had an idea that was like, you know, like monochrome top and bottom, and then a statement layering piece or like a pop of color layering piece. So like a jacket or a cardigan over like an all black outfit that's bright, or, you know, like a scarf or something that's in a contrast. And I was like, I actually do that in my everyday life a lot. And I don't know what the point of this is that I'm telling you, but it's another way for me to frame coming up with outfit ideas that I don't have to just restrict it to certain garment types, but just maybe sometimes think of colors, you know, like putting complementary colors together, or, you know, just different ideas for how I can come up with outfits based on color rather than specific clothes. So I don't know if that helps you at all. Again, like I said, I'll go ahead and link the video in the description box below if you want to check it out. I thought it was helpful, and I just wanted to share that. So Fibre mood issue 17 just came out, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought and my impressions. So what I'm about to say is going to sound probably way more negative than I really intend it to. But one thing that I've been noticing is that like Fibre mood has a very specific aesthetic, and I like that aesthetic. And they basically have a very like targeted niche, I think, which is like, you know, kind of advanced beginner sewers who, you know, maybe they're newer to garment sewing, but they still want to make like fashionable clothes that are like a little bit on the easier side to sew. And so generally they have pretty simple garments, but with like nice little special details. And I like that about them. This is like way more about me rather than them. But like kind of because I've been sewing for such a long time and I have such a huge amount of patterns, when this issue came out, like it just started to feel to me like everything looks the same, like they just are making the same things over and over again. And that's not really true, and that's not fair, but it is because they have a certain look to all of their patterns. And have so many patterns myself, there's just a lot of the things that were in the issue that even though on its own merits I liked it and I thought it was nice, that it's like, well, I already have something similar, or I've already seen something similar somewhere else, and I'm just not that interested in it. Like for an example, I'll put up pictures on the screen as I'm talking, but there's one of the new patterns is the Gladys Dress and top. And it's a really pretty top. It's like a button-up shirt with a V-neck, and then there's like this big collar with a ruffle. And it's nice. And like if I didn't already have a couple patterns like this or had made patterns like this, then I would probably download it. But it's just, I just feel like I've already been there and done that with a lot of the ones in this issue. But there were a couple that I did like, and I did go ahead and download 2 patterns from this issue, and I just wanted to share those. So the first one that I got was the Leona Sweater. Now I did hesitate on this one because initially, like the modeled photos, I saw them and I was like, ooh, that's really 80s. So it's like this batwing cropped sweatshirt. It's pretty oversized. And the interesting part about it is that it has like kind of like a notched cutout here, and it's gathered in. And so there's just a lot of volume in this area. And just, again, like seeing it initially, I was just kind of like, I don't know about that. But the good thing about Fibre is that they have tons and tons and tons of people make up their patterns before it's released. So you get to see lots of examples on different body types. And I will go ahead and link this in the description box below also. But there was one person in particular who color blocked it. And I think that she had like a camel color on the body and then black for that notched sleeve part. And the color blocking is what sold me. Like it just looked really cool. It looked very chic. It didn't look too 80s, and so that's what convinced me to go ahead and get that pattern. So I liked that one. And then the second pattern that I downloaded from this issue was the Dee Pullover. Now this one, actually, I have seen before. There's a Vogue pattern that came out in the fall release that is very, very similar. But this type of half zip pullover is super on trend right now. Like if you go to any shop at all, there's like tons and tons of examples of this type of garment. And because I don't have that Vogue pattern, I went ahead and got this pattern. And I just think that it's a very like stylish but easy to wear, kind of sporty looking top. So I went ahead and downloaded that one as well. The rest of the patterns in this issue just didn't really speak to me, and because I do have the digital subscription, I went ahead and downloaded 3 other patterns that I might share with you later or I might not, but I don't really want to talk about them today. But yeah, that was just my impression of Fibre Mood. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like, do you kind of feel the same as me, that they all start to look alike after a while, or am I just being too harsh? You can let me know what you think in the comments. So I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate that you take time out of your day to watch my channel. If you like this video, I hope that you'll hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you again next time.